I know I said the quality would be better this time, but I have an excuse that we'll get to later, because for now, we have self-loathing to do. Given that I've been out for a little bit and I won't shut the fuck up about it, you would think that I feel at least a little bit real by now, right? I was expecting to feel real, but I still feel like a fucking fake. I feel like a fraud. I still feel fake to the extent that when women try to include me in things, like by calling me a lesbian or by referring to us as women, like us a collective, including me, I just feel like I'm intruding. It's kind of like going to a Lutheran church where I can't go because I would burst into flames, and everyone is saying, peace be with you, peace be with you, peace be with you. Peace be with me? Bitch? Do I look like I'm capable of peace? Clearly I've walked in on something that doesn't belong to me because I don't deserve peace, and I certainly don't deserve to be referred to as a woman, right? Or at least that's what the tiny voice in my head says. But the fact that other people genuinely refer to me as a woman doesn't mean I'm ready to accept it, because deep down, I'm a transphobe, and the disgusting, melodramatic piece of shit trender that I hate the most is me. I don't care if she hears. I don't care. Oh, and in an attempt to make this channel more cis-friendly, I'm gonna add a little dictionary section here. A trender is someone who is pretending to be transgender, or at least other people are saying they are. I could never call someone a trender. It's a terrible thing to call someone because it's debatable whether or not that even exists, but it's a phrase. It is used by true scumfucks the world over. You shouldn't use it, but you should know what it means. Thank you, cis allies. Goodbye. We need more cis-friendly spaces. No, we don't. Anyway, I'm still waiting for an alternative slur we can use to describe someone who's pretending to be cis. Suggestions in the comments? Put your slur suggestions in the comments. Put your slurs. No real slurs. Make some up for me though. This will go well. The thing is, I don't feel like a trender because I'm not trans. I feel like a trender because I don't pass. And if I don't pass, I'm clearly not trying hard enough, which in my mind makes me a trender. Which brings us to today's topic, internalized transphobia. Not passing does not mean you're a trender, it just means society's judgment beams are gonna penetrate you like the sun on a really sunny day on Mercury. Or some shit. And subjecting yourself to internalized transphobia on top of society's judgment is like going outside without sunscreen and thinking, I deserve this, as your face burns to dust and it floats away in the wind like Avengers. Remember that? If you've ever pretended to like Marvel just to make someone else happy, that is self-harm and you need to stop. Get out of there, sis. Why am I making the claw? Get out of there or I will claw you through the screen. You'd like that, wouldn't you? Ugh. But you can only protect yourself from other people's judgment if you can put up that SPF 75 barrier. And in order to do that, you're gonna have to do one of the hardest things a trans person can possibly do. Establish a skincare routine. Just kidding, it's worse. You have to start accepting things about yourself that you know other people are going to judge. And in order to do that, you're gonna have to challenge society's entire gender thing, but inside of your own mind. What makes a gender? Can I go to the store? Can I purchase the ingredients? And can I come home and cook it? Of course not. I can barely make grilled cheese, let alone a whole gender. I'm probably starting to sound a little bit preachy, but just know that I'm doing this for me mostly, because I need to hear myself say this shit. If you don't care, you can just go ahead and mute the video, but first you have to like and comment, because if you don't, you're a transphobe. Sorry, I don't make the rules. You have to remember that internalized transphobia happens when you impose society's views of what you should be onto yourself. Instead of letting your identity come from within, you are trying to put yourself into the mold that society has made for you. But society is stupid and fucked. There's a reason that women and black people and gay people and anyone else who can't be left alone in a room with Mike Pence has a problem with society and keeps bitching about society. It's because they're right. Things like transphobia and obsessions with beauty and masculinity are things that hinder society and hinder human evolution, in my opinion. Granted, I'm not a fuckologist. Come at me, fuckologists. So why would someone consciously take a flaw of society and then make it their own personal flaw? The answer is because it's not conscious at all. Trans people tend to get it into their heads that the idea of being happy is for other people. It's not something that we get to experience, because we don't even think that we get to experience it. We are so worn down that we can't establish the mental traction to even go down that road. Because of internalized transphobia, we tell ourselves that we don't deserve better. For example, in my case, because my voice doesn't pass, I tell myself that I don't deserve to come out to people. I don't deserve to get a different name tag at work and be addressed as ma'am at the fucking gas station. I feel like I don't deserve it because I haven't earned it because my voice doesn't pass. But that's fucked. And it's fucked for 2 reasons. 1, because I need to have some fucking self-respect, and 2, because that is the point where internalized transphobia becomes externalized transphobia. So when I tell myself that I don't deserve respect because my voice doesn't pass, what I'm really saying is, no trans people deserve respect if they don't pass, which I obviously don't believe, but the cognitive dissonance is there. The internalized transphobia that tells me I don't deserve to be happy is there. And if every trans person thinks like I do, then our individual inability to accept ourselves becomes a societal inability to accept ourselves. So we need to realize on an individual level that the enemy isn't ourselves for failing to pass, it's society for determining what we have to do to qualify for respect. I don't know how gay people forgot that they actually have to dismantle society, because it is printed in the handbook that you got when you decided to convert. If you lost it, you're out of the club, bud. You're only a trender if you lost your gay agenda handbook. Like, sure, we can change ourselves however we have to resolve our own dysphoria, but at the end of the day, we also need to change society's view of people and gender as a whole. Gender machine broke. As always, this has been a complete fucking rant. I have no idea what I'm saying anymore. I'm losing my fucking mind. I listened to one PhilosophyTube video and now I think it's time for society to wrap it up. I would really love to get into the transphobes like Blair White, who actively embrace society's gender definitions because it somehow validates them. But that's like a whole thing. I don't want to do a whole thing. It's 2 a.m. I got other whole things to do. I gotta go feed my frog. Actually, I already fed my frog. He ate 1 cricket. I'm very worried about him. He needs to eat more. He's a growing boy or girl. I think I'm gonna decide to be frog gender from now on. Is that quirky? Is that quirky funny? So if you were expecting a clean resolution to this, I really don't know what to tell you. Shit's fucked. That's all I got to say. I'm mostly just here to complain. It sounded like I was talking about solutions for a second there, but no, that's just advanced complaining. There's layers. There's layers. It's complicated. It's like whiskey. You know, you take a sip, you gotta take in the... It's not even close to that. I've just been sitting here for an hour at 2 in the fucking morning talking like I matter. So you and anyone else who actually cares about this channel, if I could keep you after class for a second, great. So I said I would talk about the camera thing. It still sucks, and I'm very sorry. I tried to use my phone, but not only do I need it for script stuff, but the like focal length on the lens or whatever, I don't have a lot of room to move here. I have maybe 4 or 5 feet tops, and I just could not get it to go far enough out from my face. It's just like cropped in like this, and I don't want to make YouTube videos like this. So if anyone knows things about cameras, I'm pretty sure the C920 that I'm using has like a really narrow focal length or whatever. I don't know about cameras. I am such a fucking bimbo bitch. Damn, that's validating. I also promised frog stuff, so here's some frog stuff. That's the frog stuff I've collected. It doesn't do much, so there's not a lot for me to film or take pictures of. It just kind of buries itself in the substrate and hangs out. So I actually literally have no idea where it is right now. I looked in the enclosure and it is dug so deep, I just cannot locate it. So hope it's still there. Anyway, thanks for watching, but I really recommend you find something more fulfilling to do with your time. Loser.